Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to Mathematics with Shahab Yaqub. So now people, let's focus on October-November 2025, variant 33, variant 35, and I'll be focusing on the topic of differential equations. Let's pick one question from each. So now let me go to the favorites and let me just double check. That is this one. Okay, so that is the page, and this is about differential equations. So the very first thing is this, a simple question: express 2 over 1 minus 9y square in partial fractions. So the background knowledge is this thing, which is a square minus b square, that is a plus b into a minus b, and therefore 1 minus 9y square can be written as 1 plus 3y, 1 minus 3y. That is the first thing that you need to realize. Now keep in mind there is a 2 at the top, and it is a case of partial fraction, case number 1, that is denominator. It's already proper, so no issue with that. Denominator with linear factors. So now we have a constant a divided by the first factor, another constant b divided by the second factor. We take LCM, so the LCM is the same as this. A gets multiplied with this, b gets multiplied with this, 2 is over here. That is the equation that we have. Let's evaluate one constant at a time. Let y is equals to 1/3. So 1 minus 3y equals to 0, therefore y is 1/3. That is how we get the first plug-in value. So a will disappear, we'll find the value of b, that comes out to be 1. So the value of b is coming out to be 1. Similarly, we will pick let y is equals to minus 1/3. 1 plus 3y equals to 0, therefore y is minus 1/3. And hence we find the value of a. So the value of a comes out to be 1. So a is 1, b is 1, both the constants are the same. That is a good thing. So that you can take common out. Well, it's only 1, so there is nothing taking common out. When in some other question we can do it. Now it says the variables x and y satisfy the differential equation. So there is this 2. And then there is this 1 minus 9y square and dy. So 2 is in the numerator. I left it as it is. So this is 2. This is dy. This is 1 minus 9y square, and that is exactly part A. So this is already done. 1 over 1 plus 3y, 1 over 1 minus 3y. That is already done. And then we have this thing that is cos square 3x into dx. That is dx, and 1 over cos square 3x, that becomes sec square 3x into dx. Got the idea? So now let's start integrating. So first simplify, then integrate. So remember my words, first simplify, and not only remember it, apply it. First simplify, then integrate. So now 1, the coefficient of y is 3. So 1 over 3 ln of 1 plus 3y. Coefficient of y is negative 3. So negative 1/3 ln of 1 minus 3y. I'm taking this 1/3 common out. This is a negative sign. So therefore this becomes the numerator. So this is the numerator, and this becomes the denominator. And minus sign is taken care of according to rules of logs. If someone doesn't remember, let me remind them. Log x over y base a, that is log x base a minus log y base a. So this minus makes it division. And then over here we have this thing which is 1/3 as it is. Integral of sec square 3x is tangent 3x. This 3 is because of this 3. Plus the constant of integration c. Now the condition is x is pi by 12 when y is 0. X is pi by 12 when y is 0. So I simplified it as much as possible. I did one other thing. That is this 1/3 over here, 1/3 over here. I multiplied by 3. This 3c, I wrote it as a, and that a is over here, and then I plugged in the value. So now y is 0. So when y is 0, this thing disappears, I'm left with ln of 1, ln of 1 is 0. Tangent of pi by 4 is 1, therefore a comes out to be a beautiful number, a comes out to be negative 1. So now we have this equation over here. Are they asking us to make the subject? Yes, an expression for y in terms of x. If they ask, then only we will make the subject. So now for simplicity, what I have done is that I have written e raised to power of 3x minus 1 equals to k for a short while, so that my life becomes easy in cross multiplying. So therefore 1 plus 3y, 1 minus 3y is k. So k into 1 minus 3y, that is k minus 3ky. 3ky, take it to the other side, take y common out, that is k minus 1 over 3k plus 3, that is k minus 1 of 3 times k plus 1. So now you insert it back. So now k is inserted as e raised to power of 3x minus 1, k is inserted as e raised to power of 3x minus 1. The rest of the terms are over there. So this is from variant 33. Let me go to variant 35, and where is the question? Yes, that's the one. Okay. So another differential equation question, keep in mind, this is October-November 2025, variant 35. All variants are good. Okay, I just selected 2 of them and start working on them. A fungal disease is affecting some of the trees in a forest. The fraction of the trees affected after t years is denoted by x. So x is a fraction, keep that in mind. The rate of increase of x is proportional to the product of the fraction affected and the fraction not affected. So if the fraction is x, not affected would be 1 minus x. This is affected, this is not. So it's proportional to this. It's increase, so there is a plus sign over here. If it was a decrease, I would have put a negative sign over here. How do you end a proportionality sign? Multiplying by a constant of proportionality. That is 1 mark. When the disease is first detected, now let me highlight this. When the disease is first detected, 1/4 of the trees are affected. So initially 1/4, that's the fraction. 2 years later, 1/3 of the trees are affected. 2 years later, 1/3 of the trees are affected. Solve the differential equation. Find the number of years from the time when the disease is first detected until the time when 3/4 of the disease are affected. Give your answer correct to the nearest year for 8 marks. So now over here, the differential equation, I have already done the variable separable. So this is dx over x1 minus x, and this one is k into dt. So now this thing I have done it on the sidelines. So dx1 minus x, I have done the partial fraction. No hint was given. You have to realize yourself. So don't expect the examiner to tell you that. You have to take the decision yourself. 1 over x1 minus x, this is a case 1, a constant over the first factor, another constant over the second factor. And let me write over here, this is case 1, that is denominator with linear factors. And it's very simple. We find the value of a as 1, we find the value of b as 1. So this is a as 1 and b as 1. And now integrate. So focus on the coefficient of x. So this one over here, the coefficient of x is positive, therefore it's 1 over 1. The coefficient of x is negative, it's 1 over negative 1. And then it's kt plus c. Again, there is a negative sign over here. The rule of log will apply. Kt plus c, I can plug in the constants over here. I can plug in later. I first made the subject. So always remember, if y is equals to a power x, log y base a equals to x, you can do the conversion this way, conversion this way. So over here, log to the base e is this much. So this whole thing is e raised to power of kt plus c. Then we apply indices a power m plus n, that is a power m into a power n. So this plus becomes e power kt, e power c. Let me write over here, let e power c equals to a constant a. That is how I get this a. Now the first condition, t is 0, x is 1/4. X is 1/4, 1 minus 1/4 is 3/4, 1/4 over 3/4 is 1/3. E raised to power of k into 0, that is 0, e raised to power of 0 is 1, so a is 1/3. Rewrite the equation again. So we found the value of k, that is 1/3. Now the second condition. T is 2, x is 1/3. So this is 1/3, 1 minus 1/3 is 2/3. 1/3 over 2/3 is, this is half, and this is 1 over 3 over here. After simplification, this becomes 3 over 2. So now plug in the value of k as 2, time as 2, and then e raised to power of 2k is 3 over 2. Take natural log of both sides, therefore k is half ln 3 over 2. So now this thing is done. So this one is your a, this one is your k. It's found, but you can write like this, where k is half ln 3 over 2. And now substitute the values. Now you have to find the value of t when x is 3/4. So this is 3/4, 1 minus 3/4 is 1/4. This becomes 3. 1/3 taking to the other side, that becomes 3. So now this is e power kt is equals to 9. Take natural log of both sides. So ln e raised to power of kt is ln 9. E raised to power of kt, the kt comes down and multiplies. Ln of e is 1. So ln 9 is kt. Now let me plug in the value of k. So substitute when it's needed. And then you make t the subject. Of course, use calculator. At least 4 SF, that's the general rule. Well, over here they want the answer in completed years, so it's 10.83 years. So therefore I'm writing 11 years. So this video is also done. October, November 2025. Focus is on differential equation. 2 variants. We focused on variant 33. We focused on variant 35. Stay tuned for more content on mathematics with Shahab Yaqub.